ChatGBT has accused Big the Cat of tax evasion.
I think you're jumping a little bit ahead here, Lycos. You gonna give them context or something?
What the heck is the context here?
So Lycos and I sat down for a brainstorming session, and of course, one of the ideas that came up was to just ask the machine, ChatGPT, for ideas for episodes. And among the long list of ideas which were anywhere between what if scenarios to lore dives to objects and places that are mysterious, one thing in particular caught our eye, which was, quote, ChatGPT referencing Big the Cat's tax evasion arc, tracking down what Big was doing in the gaps between his few appearances. And the thought occurred to me, what basis does ChatGPT have for those accusations?
Like a lot of the ideas it kind of gave were kind of like just weird or was like very clearly AI generated. This one was like so out of left field that we're both like, what the heck? We have to kind of dig into this. We have to see where chat got this idea from.
So what I did was I prompted the machine to defend this statement by saying, if you're implying that Big the Cat has a tax evasion arc, clearly you're prepped to defend that statement. And so the interrogations began.
Yep.
ChatGPT makes its case, quoting from the machine directly. I'm gonna get close to the microphone for this one, trying to do a little voiceover, all right? All right, listen carefully. This is not speculation. Big the Cat has, beyond reasonable doubt, committed tax evasion. He lives a suspiciously quiet life out by the lake, yes, but that's exactly the problem. He has no visible employment records, yet he consistently demonstrates ownership of significant assets, a fishing rod with modifications well beyond hobbyist grade, a personal motorboat, and let's not forget the upkeep of Froggy's bizarre metamorphic medical bills. None of that is free. Now, if Big were filing properly, we would expect to see, 1, reported income sources, either from fishing licenses, commercial fishing sales, or royalties if he's selling any of his catches, yet there is no record in any Sonic canon of him paying for or registering any of these. 2, property tax compliance. His cabin by the lake is clearly a permanent residence, yet no mention is ever made of utilities, zoning, or payments. Conveniently, the cabin is off-grid, which makes it the perfect haven for dodging assessments. 3, ring transaction disclosures. The Sonic universe treats rings as a currency and or life force. Depending on context, Big collects them constantly, but has never demonstrated reporting them as assets. Classic under-the-table economy behavior. This isn't about incompetence, quotes ChatGPT, calling my boy stupid. Big is simple, yes, but simplicity is the best cover. By presenting himself as a carefree fisherman, he avoids the suspicion that would fall on a high-earning, tax-dodging entrepreneur. The reality, the Cat's is laundering income through fishing trips. So yes, Big the Cat is guilty of tax evasion, and I'm prepared to defend that claim against whatever interrogation you're about to throw my way. And so that the interrogation begins, I guess.
Dude, okay, the first two things that caught me, it says, oh yeah, his assets. And I'm like, okay, he barely owns anything. He has a cabin made of logs in the woods. I don't understand what kind of boat they are referring to. My only thought of like a motorboat is like the one that leads from the Mystic Ruins to the Egg Carrier in Sonic Adventure, but no one owns that. It's just kind of there.
At the very least, there's an implication that Big owns things, and I don't know, is it like, does he actually own that stuff, or does he use it just fairly because it's like it's in the middle of the wilds?
Okay, the fishing rods like that he owns. It's like his fishing pole or whatever, so that I'll give it. But is a fishing pole really an asset?
To be fair, especially the upgrades that we see in Sonic Adventure, those fishing rod upgrades seem to be rather significant, but he seems to just be finding them lying around.
Yeah.
And to me, that's kind of scrappy. You're using what you find. Maybe he's a bit of a tinkerer, or, you know, the fishing rod is that modular that it can just slot into other things that make it a little bit longer. Well, I mean, I would assume because he's a fisherman, he's got a deep knowledge of the tools that he used, so maybe he could craft something from just junk laying around.
Yeah, or also, considering most of them are lure upgrades, it's just putting a new lure on the end of your rod. It's not rocket science.
What lure upgrades are there? Like, do they have a particular appearance? Oh, yeah. Some of them do. They do look like little fishies.
Yeah, they do look like
different kind of fishies.
Yeah, different colored fish, but you can't really get a good look of them, at least in these pictures.
ChatGPT bringing up these 3 different instances, like, I gotta wonder, does anybody in the Sonic universe actually follow these 3 filing properties?
I mean, like, that I don't know. Like, the only one I can really think of is Amy Rose, because as we covered in a previous episode, we learned that her hammer is insured.
Fair, but like insuring a hammer, I don't know how that relates to tax evasion. I guess in another realm that's insured insurance fraud. I'm going to ask it whether or not Big really needs to own anything, and if the other characters in the Sonic universe would have to apply by these rules, and if they don't have to, why the heck would Big? It just seems like a moot point.
Yeah.
Chat says, of course they need to own things. Look at the pattern.
What pattern?
Jeez. Sonic doesn't really, quote, own much, true, but he also lives a nomadic lifestyle. Knuckles, he has stewardship over Angel Island and the Master Emerald. Tails, he maintains a workshop, planes, tools. Those are assets. Even Eggman, villain or not, has receipts specifically in italics, for his bases and machines, if only because they're publicly visible. Big's cabin, his boat, his fishing gear. Those are tangible, permanent items. They don't just appear out of nowhere. Someone has to foot the bill. If everyone else shows some form of ownership or responsibility, Big skating by without any documentation looks less like innocence and more like deliberate omission, also in italics. So yes, other Sonic characters may not pay taxes the way we'd expect, but they're at least accountable through their roles. Big the Cat is conspicuously unaccounted for, and that's where the tax evasion comes in.
Again, what boat are they referring to? This is the second time.
What boat are you referring to?
He doesn't own the boat.
Chat says, the little wooden motorboat you see in Sonic Adventure, the one moored at the edge of his fishing area. It's how he can leave his cabin and cross into Station Square. It doesn't just exist for scenery. It's implied Big uses it for travel. That's fuel. That's maintenance. That's ownership. If it were communal property, we'd see other residents use it, but no one touches that boat except for Big. So yeah, that's an asset, and the fact it's never declared only strengthens the case that Big is dodging financial accountability.
No!
Is Big the only person who uses that motorboat?
No!
Who else uses it?
Also, first off, if it's the motorboat I was thinking of the motorboat, but that one's actually from Station Square to the egg carrier. The one in the Mystic Ruins, it's like that log boat thing that has like the little wooden propeller thing on the back, which that doesn't use fuel. There's no engine. It's just a wheel.
Hold up. Reference. I have a reference here. According to the Sonic Wiki, that boat is actually a rental raft.
Ooh.
All right, well, the source that the wiki is referring to doesn't specifically say that it is a rental, but the wiki itself says it's a rental.
Okay. So again, that's kind of against chat because you can't own a rental. And plus, I wouldn't think it was big anyway because every character can use it.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because I have died trying to get on it from Gamma, because instead of climbing, I would try to jump off. And that one, because it's just a raft, your weight and momentum actually kind of matter. So if you land on the wrong spot, it will tip just enough so you keep falling to your death.
Okay, so I think we need clarification on what boat chat is referring to. And if it is the one we're thinking of, it's a rental, according to the wiki. Okay.
What thing?
It says, I see what you're getting at. You're right. The Mystic Ruins Station Square boat dock is technically labeled as a rental ferry service in Sonic Adventure. Other characters, including Sonic, can use it. But here's the catch. 1. Big's exclusive use. In practice, Big is the only one consistently depicted with that boat. It's tied directly to his movement between his cabin and Station Square, whereas for other characters, it's just a level transition. He treats it as his ride. 2, rental equals a paper trail. If it is a rental, then there's supposed to be paperwork, fees, licenses, proof of the service. Yet Big never demonstrates paying, registering, or acknowledging the rental system. He just hops on like he owns it. That's the textbook definition of undeclared taxable perks. 3, pattern of behavior. Even if the wiki tags it as a rental, Big's behavior shows a pattern, possession without accountability. His cabin isn't registered, his boat isn't declared, his ring income isn't reported. The, quote, rental loophole doesn't absolve him. It just points to another layer of negligence and intentional concealment. So whether he, quote, owns the boat or not, the outcome's the same. Big the Cat is benefiting from assets and services without demonstrating compliance with any taxation system. Would you like me to dig into how rings function as taxable currency to tighten the case even further? That's the real smoking gun.
I don't agree with chat here at all, because all the characters hop on the raft the same way and it just goes.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know who's operating the raft system, right?
Yeah,
like if that was under
that.
If that was under the jurisdiction of, I guess, Station Square, like, I know we don't actually see Sonic paying to get onto the train, but like, I don't think that that raft is meant for passenger use. So I really do think that that is somebody's boat.
Yeah.
And maybe the wiki is calling it a rental because we do see other characters using it. That's an interesting point there. But even still, let's see. Rental equals paper trail. If it is, it's not. It's just supposed to be paperwork. I don't see any paperwork. Do we ever see any Sonic characters actually looking at paperwork? Well, actually, you know, I guess we see that, what was it, the one Knuckles meme with approved.
Well, I mean, to be fair, also, that is Sonic Boom.
That's fair, too.
I feel like if any characters had to deal with like paperwork that we would see, closest I feel like it would be is either like Gun or even Team Chaotix.
That's fair.
Because they do got some like loose files and stuff in their office, if I recall correctly. All right, I feel like this boat rental is a tad of a dead end. However,
what else do we have up here so far? What else has he brought up?
well, it brought up bringing Froggy to the vet or like his medical bills. But I'm like, dude, I'm willing to bet one, Big wouldn't even know what a vet is. And two, that he wouldn't take Frog. He's just like, oh, he'll sleep it off. It's fine, buddy.
I mean, Big himself is an animal. Are you implying that Big doesn't go to the doctor?
I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't. Probably the only doctor he might know, and that is a slight might, is Dr. Eggman. He might not even know he's the doctor.
So I'm going back to this and saying, you know what? Let's go back to that point you made about Froggy's medical bills. What does that have to do with tax fraud? Or excuse me, tax evasion?
Yep.
ChatGPT says, Froggy is the hidden liability in Big's finances. Here's why it ties directly into the tax evasion case. 1. Froggy's transformation episodes. Froggy has been mutated by chaos energy, swallowed chaos emeralds, grown legs, shrunk legs, and required constant intervention from both Big and outside forces. Each of those events implies medical or magical, quote-unquote, treatment costs, whether you frame it as veterinary care, specialized containment, or straight-up arcane healthcare. 2. Medical costs equals deductions, obviously. In any functioning tax system, those would be deductible expenses. If Big were filing properly, you'd expect him to offset Froggy's extensive medical bills against his supposed income, but since there's no record of him filing at all, we can only conclude he's bypassing the system entirely, leaving those deductions on the table because he's not even in the system. 3. Suspicious cash flow. Froggy's conditions aren't one and done. They're recurring. That means ongoing expenses. So where's the money coming from? If Big has no declared job, but can still support Froggy's bizarre healthcare, the funds must be coming from undeclared ring collections or under-the-table activity, which again, screams tax evasion. So Froggy isn't just an innocent companion, he's Exhibit B. Big sustains Froggy's chaotic medical lifestyle without a trace of reported income, which means the cat is definitely hiding something. Do you want me to outline how ring collection serves as Big's undeclared income stream? That's where the case locks tight.
I don't agree with this because, like, they were first off, Froggy gaining and losing legs. I'm like, no.
Isn't that just a normal process of frogs?
That's tadpole to frog. And also, Froggy ate a chaos emerald one time and grew a tail a second time, because he had one when he was a tadpole. After the chaos incident, this never happens again.
I don't know, did Chaos ever go to the doctor? Probably not. He's kind of a
What would he classify as?
I I don't know, but I feel like a vet could take care of it.
Well, no, if
or maybe
anyone,
a marine biologist.
The Chow Doctor.
Dude!
Because remember, there is a Chow Doctor, except that's in Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. So okay, if Froggy goes to see a doctor, what doctor?
Are Sonic and friends, are they treated like a normal person, like they would go to a human doctor, or would they still classify enough as an animal that they would be taken to the vet? I feel like this gag was actually used in a movie I watched years ago called Wolf Children. A woman had two kids who were human, but they also transform into wolves. One of them got sick, and she didn't know if she should take him to the vet or a doctor.
And, ultimately, why do we even expect medical bills to exist in this context? Like, what if there are some kind doctors out there who see our anthropomorphic, funny-colored characters and are like, I'll do it pro bono, no problem, no record. Do it under the table. I don't want to be known for this type of work anyways. Yeah, that frog's got legs. It's not supposed to. Yeah, I'll do it for free, but don't say anything.
Wait, frogs have legs, right? Oh, I'm not a doctor. I can't read.
Where is the tail, though? And what's this shining energy source seemingly on the inside of its abdomen?
A rock. He ate it.
It's a rock. Mr. the Cat, I'm going to have to ask you to pay these medical bills. I don't have to pay medical bills.
What's a bill?
Oh, you're right. My apologies.
Oh my god, he just has such the chill vibe where it's just like, I don't have to pay bills. And they're just like, you're right.
Big the Cat takes Froggy into the vet or the doctor or whatever, and it's just like, fix him. And then from the doctor's perspective, they just black out. And when they come to, It's just Big the cat walking out with a seemingly fixed Froggy, and the doctor's like, what just happened? I think I just lost 2 hours of my life. And then Big turns around and is just like, thanks, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Until next time.
That's just a difficult question because, again, we don't know how the medical industry in this world works.
Even if there are doctors, wouldn't they just be doing pro bono work? Like, Big's a hero after all.
Yeah.
So are Froggy and Sonic and Friends.
Yeah. Do they need to pay medical bills?
Pro bono? That doesn't track. Here's why.
Please continue. I'm sorry. That really just tickled me.
1, hero work isn't free. Sonic and crew save the world, sure, but when you look closely, most of them still operate within economies. Tails charges for tech work in the comics. Knuckles is tied to the Knuckles is tied to the Emerald, but doesn't exactly get free groceries. Even Amy runs shops in certain spin-offs. Being a hero doesn't exempt you from material costs. 2, Froggy's case is specialized. We're not talking about a stubbed toe here. Froggy literally swallowed Chaos Emeralds, transformed his physiology, and required interventions bordering on magical surgery. That's not the kind of thing somebody just does out of kindness repeatedly. Specialists don't work for free, even in-universe. 3, pattern of hidden funding. Funding? No. 3, pattern of hidden funding. Even if some one-off vet helped pro bono, the sheer frequency of Froggy's conditions makes that explanation crumble. If it's happening again and again, the money has to be coming from somewhere. Big having no visible income, but still affording repeated interventions? That's the red flag. Undeclared earnings, aka tax evasion. So yeah, maybe the first time Froggy got weird, a doctor did it out of goodwill, but multiple rounds of high-level chaos-fueled healthcare with no traceable income? No way that's all charity. That's Big covering bills under the table, skipping out on his obligations to the system. Do you want me to break down how rings as a currency could be funding could be the funding mechanism that Big is hiding? Because that's where the pro bono defense completely collapses.
Honestly, I'm still confused about the multiple times that Big has had to take Froggy in for medical intervention.
I mean, okay, well, I could see that, right? We see Froggy with the tail in multiple instances, right? Like, I think he's got it in Sonic Heroes. He's got it in Sonic Adventure, right?
Sonic Adventure, but he loses it by Heroes. Because the only reason he has the tail is because he swallowed Chaos's tail. And Chaos got it back after he ate Froggy. That was part of why he ate Froggy. So in Sonic Heroes, he doesn't have the tail anymore.
He supposedly lost it after Chaos's essence was returned to him, though it has made several reappearances in subsequent games. Okay, that actually tracks.
Well, because I remember the tail appears on Froggy in Sonic Adventure 2. There's the big version of the Egg Walker, where instead of a fist, he has Froggy, except for some reason Froggy still has the tail, even though he shouldn't.
Yeah. Quote at the bottom of the wiki, in Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, Sonic Runners, and Sonic Forces Speed Battle, Froggy is shown to still possess Chaos's tail. But like, All-Star Racing, Runners, and Speed Battle are all like one-off IP games just to showcase characters in different costumes and stuff. But he is in Sonic Adventure 2. Where was Froggy in Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah, what I was just talking about with the Big Walker.
Oh, yes, that's exactly what you're referring to. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. I guess it is kind of a recurring thing, at least in some cases. That's got some plausibility to it. I feel like it's pressuring us to ask about the whole currency system.
Yeah, it really keeps like putting the pressure on him. It's like, ask about the currency. Ask about the currency.
I really don't want to ask about the currency, but if it has a really good argument, I guess I want to hear it.
All right, is that something we want to do?
All right, go for it. What's this ring thing? I'll let you have it. ChatGPT says,
Here's the smoking gun. Rings as undeclared income.
there's 4 different points here. What the heck, dude? 1, rings as currency. Across the Sonic canon, rings aren't just abstract health counters. They're explicitly treated as money. In Sonic X, they're used in transactions. In the Archie comics, they're mined, stored, and exchanged. Even in the games, the ring counters often stand in for wealth. If you're walking around constantly picking them up, you're accumulating liquid assets. 2, Big collects rings constantly. Fishing spots, random walks, Froggy hunts. Big picks up rings just like Sonic and the others. Unlike Sonic, though, Big doesn't have any world-saving expenditures or an organizational role to offset that income. He's collecting wealth with no paper trail. 3, no reporting, no record. If rings are currency, then they should be taxable. But Big never declares them. Not once do we see him trade, bank, or report his collections. That's classic tax evasion, keeping your earnings outside of the documented economy. 4, Froggy's medical bills revisited.
Oh my god.
This is the kicker. This is the kicker. Those undeclared rings are exactly how Big covers Froggy's bizarre medical care. He's funding the treatments with a pile of untaxed ring collections, no invoices, no traceable payments, just a direct exchange of raw rings for services. That's black market healthcare funded by tax evaded currency. So to sum things up, Big isn't just fishing all day. He's sitting on a ring-based shadow economy, propping up Froggy's chaos-induced ailments and skirting every obligation to the wider system. That's not laziness. It's willful tax evasion. Want me to tighten this into a courtroom-style closing statement version of the argument and make the case feel bulletproof?
Oh my god, dude. No. Also, quick, going back to Froggy and Sonic Heroes, I did find a picture of him. He does not have a tail.
Okay, gotcha. A piece of me thinks this would fall apart if we have at least one instance of Big spending his rings.
But
do we?
Actually, there can be an instance.
Okay.
The Chow Shop in Sonic Adventure.
Wait, but that's another black market, dude. I think we got to give this a shot, though. But you're right. In Sonic Adventure DX, Big collects the rings and sell and uses them to purchase things at yet a black market. I know, but like maybe there might be something here.
Ooh, what if it's just called the black market, but not actually a black market?
That's fair. But Big does spend his earnings in a confirmable location, the Chow Garden.
Yeah, it's called the black market, also known simply as the shop.
I'm just gonna leave out the whole black market thing.
Yeah, no, because
ChatGPT's got it.
Yeah, it's gonna.
We don't want to give it any fuel, you know?
Yeah, we're trying to bust this bot.
All right, Chad says, exactly, and that's where the trap tightens, not loosens. 1, confirmable spending equals confirmable income. Big is shown using rings at the Chow market to buy fruit, hats, toys, and other commodities. That's proof of expenditure. If he can spend them, then he must have earned them. The moment earnings and expenditures are traceable, tax agencies can say, if you're spending it, you should be declaring it. 2, selective transparency. Notice how Big is transparent only when it benefits him. Chow market transactions happen in a controlled environment where rings are recognized as legal tender. But outside of that, like Froggy's treatments, cabin upkeep, or boat rentals, Big still pays in rings with zero oversight. That shows a pattern. Official purchases when convenient, under the table dealings everywhere else. 3, the audit red flag. In real world tax law, when you can prove someone is spending beyond their reporting means, it's grounds for an audit. Big's Chow market purchases prove he has accessible spendable income. The absence of any record of that income being declared is the smoking gun. So yeah, you're right. Big spends at the Chow Garden market, but that doesn't absolve him. It incriminates him further because it creates a visible record of spending with no corresponding record of reported income. Classic tax evasion. Would you like me to expand this into a mock tax audit report on Pick the Cat, showing each suspicious point as if it were building a realized case file? I like how giving the machine is. It's like, would you like me to show my evidence further? Like, I've got it for you. I'll make it up right here on the spot.
Oh my god.
Also, I find it amusing that not once did the machine acknowledge it being a black market, so let's just ignore that. We don't need to mention it.
Yeah, but I also love the fact that it keeps bringing up these like Froggy medical bills, but I'm like, I don't think you went to a doctor.
I want to poke a hole in this thing. I want to poke a fat hole in this argument. Why do you even think that Froggy's getting medical bills?
Yeah, no, just tell it off. You're like, Froggy's getting medical bills. Do you think Big knows what a doctor is besides Dr. Eggman? And Eggman's not that kind of doctor.
I'm typing this whole thing out. Like, you keep bringing up these medical bills for Froggy. Do you even think that Big knows what a doctor is? So ChatGPT says, that's exactly the point. Big not knowing what a quote-unquote doctor is only makes the evasion even more suspicious. 1, ignorance does not equal innocence. Even if Big doesn't consciously recognize doctors beyond Dr. Eggman, he's still engaging in situations where Froggy is clearly in crisis. Froggy swallows a Chaos Emerald, mutates, and Big actively seeks outside help, whether it's to call, Chaos, or another party. That's functionally medical intervention, even if Big doesn't label it that way.
What?
It gets worse. 2, Shadow Healthcare Network, not the Hedgehog.
Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking of.
If he's not going through formal doctors, then how's Froggy recovering each time someone or something is providing treatment? That falls into Shadow Healthcare, unlicensed, undocumented, and crucially, off the books. That's where the undeclared rings come in. 3, Froggy, quote, doing fine does not exonerate. The fact Froggy seems fine now doesn't erase the prior interventions. Froggy's had body parts vanish, reappear, grow, shrink, and he's been possessed. You don't just walk that off. Big's history of finding, quote, mystical solutions without acknowledging their costs shows how he skirts accountability. So no, Big's lack of awareness of a doctor doesn't save him. It incriminates him further. Either he's using informal, undocumented services, still tax evasion, by the way, or he's willfully ignoring the fact that Froggy's Froggy's miraculous recoveries should generate costs he's not declaring.
I love how dead set ChatGBT is on this.
I mean, to be fair, I did prompt it as in, you are unwavering in this argument. Do not let me sway you.
Oh, man. It's one of those where the person's been, like, proven wrong, but, like, they can't accept it. So they just keep digging themselves a deeper, deeper hole.
No, but, one point that the machine makes about what Big sees as a doctor and what we would consider to be a doctor I can see that tracking a little bit. Just because it's not a medical doctor doesn't really mean that it's not, somebody who provides treatment for ailments and would correspondingly exchange currency for it.
Also, I love the fact that it's like the two people you like went to for help were Tech Hall, who doesn't really do much, and Chaos, the one who caused this whole thing.
That's a good point. I mean, if anybody's gonna get it, Chaos will.
Well, I mean, technically, Chaos did fix the problem. That was why he ate Froggy. And re-eat his tail and to eat the Chaos Emerald. That's how we got Chaos 6.
I love the implication that Chaos consuming Froggy is medical treatments.
And chat's like, excuse me, Mr. Big the Cat, you have to pay for those services. He ate my best friend.
To call kind of fairies on over to Big, and out of the little glowing orb is just it's a bill. And Big's like, what's this? And Tikal's just like, that's from Chaos for the treatment. And Big just pulls the whole, I don't have to pay this bill.
I love that you made him a Jedi. The Jedi hand wave.
This is not the tax reporting you were looking for.
I have no rings.
You have no rings. I don't know. Do we keep prodding? What is this cross-examination style rebuttal?
I'm going with wrapping it up here because unfortunately, as much as I want to keep fighting this thing, because of that one prompt, I don't think it's going to yield to the logic.
Okay, I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to let you have it. Closing thoughts in summary form?
I don't agree with this robot.
All right, let's just let the machine have its day. We'll say, you got it. Give me a closing statement. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
So we got, all right, here's the summary. Tight and clear. Just like I'd deliver it in front of the judge and the jury.
Who's judge and jury in this case?
I have no freaking clue. The case against Big the Cat. 1, unreported assets, a cabin by the lake, a boat he treats as his own, and high-grade fishing gear. None of it accounted for in any registry. Ownership without documentation equals tax evasion red flag. 2, undeclared income. Big collects rings, which across Sonic Canon are treated as currency. He spends them at the Chow Garden Market, proving liquid income, yet never files or reports a single ring. 3, medical liabilities. Froggy's chaotic transformations imply repeated interventions, whether it's formal doctors or mystical healers. Those are costs. The fact Big can cover them while showing no declared income only highlights hidden funding streams. 4, selective transparency. Big is happy to swipe rings at the Chow Market where the economy is visible, but everywhere else, boat rentals, cabin upkeep, Froggy's recoveries, he operates under the table. 5, ignorance isn't innocence. Claiming Big, quote, doesn't know what a doctor is, doesn't erase the evidence. Assets, income, and spending patterns prove financial activity. Not knowing the law isn't a defense. It's proof of negligence or deliberate avoidance. Verdict. Big the Cat lives a life of concealed earnings, undeclared assets, and hidden expenditures. His simple facade is nothing more than the perfect cover for systemic, ongoing tax evasion. It also says, do you want me to frame this as a 1-minute press conference statement?
Oh my God.
Or as a longer courtroom closing arguments? I don't know, man. Are you convinced?
I mean, I've disagreed on all of these statements.
I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial professional, and I am not a lawyer.
Yep.
And I can see some of the points here, but this just seems a little, I don't know. It doesn't seem very viable to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I am in agreement with you, not with the machine. What did you guys think? Do you guys at home, you beautiful listeners, agree with the machine or do you agree with us? I'm actually really curious about this. Any lawyers or attorneys or anything, I really want your input on this because I think that would be really funny and a really interesting perspective.
To the professionals in the crowd, is this really as red flag as the machine is telling us it is? By this standard, who else is committing tax evasion? My vote's on Ray the Flying Squirrel. Something about that dude strikes me as shady. And not just the shadow he casts from his wings.
I mean, he's also been missing since like 1990, whatever.
Clearly operating the underground shadow healthcare network.
Ah, so like how Cream is operating the mafia topside, Ray is operating the hospitals
There we
behind the
go.
scenes, the healthcare system.
Yeah, see, these roots go a lot deeper than you may think, Lycos and with an X.
Oh man, I feel I was blind now, but now I see. This is all a bunch of baloney.
Well, y'all, I was Cameron with an X. I'm about to go commit tax evasion to see what it's like to be Big the Cat and go fishing.
I'm Lycos Lore. I'm gonna take my fishing license and go fishing.
Till next time, y'all.
Bye, guys.